Old money, new money, James Bond villains, casinos, racing cars and super yachts. Welcome to the 8th stage of the GCL in the glamorous Port Écule in Monaco. This week, Monaco gets transformed into the best show jumping show in the world. It is the smallest ring on the 2025 calendar, and it packs the biggest punch. We are excited to be on board this week at this incredible location. The Cannes Stars, Razorback International, Stockholm Hearts, Paris Panthers, they have all been champions here before. The big question now is which team is going to be crowned champions in 2025. We'll find out by the end of the night. We so often on this series talk about these iconic locations. We so often talk to you about being a ticket to the world and taking you across this incredible globe and across this incredible tour with us. But ladies and gentlemen, the Port Écule in Monaco is just something else. You simply need to take a walk down this venue, a walk in and around the precinct, and you just get the feeling. Take a look at that. What a shot that is, with a marvelous, magical, super mountainside that then eats into the ocean here. All of the yachts, the boats, the casinos, the people, the food. Oh, and now we find ourselves for stage 8. We're officially at the halfway point of the 2025 season. 2025 season, let's try that again. We are officially at the halfway point of the 2025 season, and with that comes its own intricacies, and we'll dive into that a little bit deeper. For now, let's start the show, and let's kick off the show in no better fashion than with the home team. For the first time today, let's meet up with Rosie Turner, who stands by alongside with the Monaco Comets.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm here with the Monaco Comets, powered by Iron Dames right now, and what a beautiful setting we are in. Edwina Tops-Alexander, the team manager. This is extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah, Monaco is such a unique venue. I mean, the ring is not the easiest ring, but it's beautiful down here by the port, and a lot of supporters here, yeah.
I heard you say this is like a second home to you. Why is it so special?
I don't know. I mean, obviously we live here, so that's obviously the reason why it's special for me in a sense. And I've been coming here for many, many years, since we had the first show. So, and there's been a lot of improvements, a lot of changes, and then the atmosphere in the evening is spectacular.
Yeah, it really is. Inez, you have such a great record jumping in this arena. How tough is it in there, though?
For sure, it's a difficult arena, but I feel the crowd is so amazing that gives us wins.
Yeah, do you feel the crowd, Jean, when you're here this weekend? Do you feel how amazing they are behind you, particularly because you are French riders?
Yeah, it's a small ring, and we have the feeling the crown is just behind you. It's really nice place, and we really enjoy to spend the time here.
Inez and Jean, you're going to be jumping first the round today. You're bringing in reasonably young horses as well. How do you think they're going to fare today?
Well, Crack is new to this level for sure, so it's really challenging, but I feel him in good shape, so hopefully it will be good.
What about you, Jean?
Yeah, me the same. I will bring Johanna, a young mare, to jump the first one, but she has been nice in the first one in Saint-Tropez, and then after I will take Dexter, well, with more experience for the second round.
Edwina, the Iron Dames have had such an amazing record here. Cannes Stars, powered by Iron Dames, won this last year. How confident are you that this team can go well today?
I mean, we're going to, put all our best efforts in. We've chosen the team with the best horses to perform on those particular classes. So we are a good, strong team together, and we're going to give it our best shot for sure.
What was the decision to let these guys jump first?
I've only just got one horse with me at the moment. I think my horse is probably better to save him just for the one round. He's a bit older, he's 15. And I think these two horses, the younger horses, have been in great shape. So I think it's for them, should be a perfect round for them to do. And then, of course, Dexter is an incredible horse, and Jean's had amazing results. So we're really fortunate to have her on the team with us tonight.
And as we look at this sort of arena, and I don't think the TV does it justice of just how small it is. What kind of horse makes this arena? What sort of horse do you need?
I feel that we need really scopy horses, because come so fast out of the turn that we need horses that have a big heart also. And that also give their best, because there is just, I feel, the motivation that the horse wants to give for us that ends up giving the good results.
Jean, give us a little bit of perspective about if something does go wrong in there or a stride goes wrong, how quickly does everything come up to you in this arena? Because it's smaller, so the jumps do come quicker, right?
Yeah, it's not easy round, and you always need to thinking about the second plan. Everything comes very quickly, and you need to change your plan last minute, and you need to be very focused on this kind of thing.
Lastly, you are the home team this weekend, Edwina. How much do you think the crowd is going to be behind you? And actually, how much does that help?
I mean, for sure they're going to be behind us. Obviously, having two French girls here makes a difference, and Ines won last year, Jeanne with her best horse. So, yeah, we will give it our best, and I'm sure we'll have a great support behind us.
Sounds like you've got more than a fighting chance. I will let you go and get ready. We are in the most beautiful setting. As you can see, we've got boats all around us. The arena is just behind those tents as well. We're very close to all the action here in Monaco.
All right, thank you very much, Rosie. Thank you very much to the Monaco Comets. They will be 8th out the gate today, powered by the Iron Dames. Sadrao and Jolie will jump the first round. We'll talk more about the start list a little bit later on as we get closer and closer to the kickoff of Global Champions League Round 1. But before we dive too deep into Monaco, let's take a moment, let's catch our breath, let's reflect on what took place in the previous stage in Paris under the Eiffel Tower alongside the famous Champ de Mars. Let's remind you what took place in the previous stage.
The quite stunning scene. Paris, the capital city of France, welcomes us for leg 7 of the Longines Global Champions Tour. This is GCL Round 2. Valkenswaard United. Marcus Enning runs homebound, and that is another masterclass. It was, regardless. Gilles Thomas is homebound, and Hermitage Cologne looks on course here. Prague Lions, powered by Czech Equestrian Team, we welcome down to the final fence and jumps in. No, he does not. And Peter de Vos, Peter beautifully straight into the Longines double, but it goes. The next team to come, who jumped the clear round in GCL Round 1 this afternoon, but no, it goes. Capital Side has done a very good regroup job here. The challenge facing Henry von Eckermann. Henry von Eckermann meets the GCL treble perfectly, but now time is into play. The time is going to be very tight here. I think he's just ahead. Shanghai Swans very close for third GCL season win this year. Christian storms around Max Kuhner. Shanghai Swans are swimming into a season lead maybe. Now 5 fences and it's gone. Now a time battle, it's gone as well.
Yeah, we're super happy. Honestly, when I had the tower with my leg, I was like, oh, that's a long way home. We recovered okay, but then Henrik came back and pulled it off, kept the round together and fast. It was nice, very happy to win. Great teammates and very happy about winning.
What a performance from the Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem Equestrium, for Ollie Fletcher, for Abdel Said and for Henrik von Ackermann to be able to pick up that GCL victory. What a moment that was for the team as they continue to improve and continue to impress. Can they do it again today? Wouldn't that be a story? Simon de Lestre and Henrik von Ackermann will start for the Istanbul Warriors today. Relatively late start for them, 13th out the gate. So they do have a good starting position. Let's look at the rankings. What is the impact of Istanbul winning in Paris done to the rankings? I remind you that Valkenswaard United have been flying high over these last few stages. They were on the podium again in Paris, and because of that, they've now eaten into the Canstars lead. They are now just a handful of points away, in fact 3 points away from finding themselves level on top, 4 points away from taking the outright lead. But take a look at that little 3-horse race that is starting to develop now between the Canstars, Valkenswaard United, and everyone's pre-season favourites, the Shanghai Swans, who, despite a slight blip over the last few stages, are still very much in the conversation. And then a very interesting battle for top 4 between the Prague Lions, Saint-Tropez Pirates, Istanbul Warriors now enter the chat. Are Madrid Emotion in that conversation? Perhaps they are. And then just behind them, into that second page goes Razorback International, New York Empire, and the teams that are now trying to fight to get as high as they can, to go as late as they can at the GCL Super Cup that takes place in the GC Prague playoffs later on this year. For the home team, the Monaco Comets find themselves in 11th place. And the Istanbul Warriors, how much higher can they climb if they put in yet another good performance here this afternoon at the Porticule in Monte Carlo, Monaco? Can they climb positions? Well, that is the big question. They talk a lot about the team dynamics as well. Let's hear from Rosie Turner once more, who took some time to sit down with the Istanbul Warriors.
Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem Equestrian Team, are currently lying 6th in the league, and I've got a few of our team alongside me now, Efe and Henrik. Efe, I want to talk to you as well. You're managing the team, you're riding in the team. You made so many decisions, different decisions this year at the beginning of the year. How has it been so far from those decisions?
So far, it started working better and better. In the first part, we are a bit unlucky. Just end of the course, we have a couple mistakes. We missed to be in the podium, but now it started to turn out in a good way, and then we start going better in the position. So hopefully we continue the rest of the season going higher.
Henrik, for you as well, this is the first time on the team. What was the reason for moving? What did Efe say to you to make you move?
No, I mean, Efe is my neighbor. But that is, of course, not only the reason, but we always had a good, connection. And for me, it's very important to be a team where we, there are good times, there are bad times. And, to have a good group of people, I think, yeah, that's what makes our strong team as well. And I think that's why we're going to have, hopefully, success in the future. We don't look back. We don't look, of course, we have to try to make the mistakes, what we do. We have to improve and do better, but we are only looking forward.
Why do you think it clicked in Paris?
To be fair, we were also a little bit lucky. We should also not, I didn't believe, or we didn't believe that Christian and Max would go in and have 2 down. But three even.
Three, yeah.
Three, yeah. This is our sport. This is what makes it exciting. Because it's never, it's not like Usain Bolt running 100 meters, he's not going to be 5th. It's still something can happen. Even the best riders, the best combination can still have rails, and it's not over before the last ride is finished.
Not just the way you've been jumping and the way the team have jumped together, but Efe, how pleased are you with the personalities and how everyone's come together in the team? I was watching you cool down today, and you're all chatting together, and it felt like such a nice dynamic.
Yeah. Especially in the Paris, I have no chance to go because I am busy in the stable. So we're watching at home. So already before the Shanghai Swans in the arena, I'm already very happy because we are 2nd position. And I'm almost sure, especially after I watched Cristiani jump amazing clear, I said, okay, still very good. We are in the podium first time. And then, okay, for us lucky, but unlucky for the Max, he has 3 down, we go in the lead. This time we are lucky. So of course, we put the house upside down, and I'm so happy, jumping like a kid, shouting, all the cats in the house are running around. So yeah, we are so happy.
We're now in the middle of the season, pretty much. Where do you realistically see yourself at the end?
Yeah, the half of the season, and then we are in the 6th position, which is good. I think from there on, if we start to do as better as now, and then I hope we can end in the first 4. That we can start in the Prague directly in the semi-final.
Henrik, what are your thoughts? It's such a small arena for you and Simon. Does that suit your horses?
I have actually quite a new horse with, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. And then I have Iliana for the 2nd round. So I hope I manage the 1st round. And then, I hope we can win because we are best and not because of the other ones are failing.
Mid-season transfers is a conversation that is going to happen very soon. The window's about to open. Your plans, are we allowed to know?
Yeah, we can tell already. We are staying in the good team. Yeah.
Staying with it is?
Yes.
Okay, there it is, the dream team. What makes it the dream team for you?
I think communication, and we're open to be each other, and everyone try the best to make the team the best.
Don't fix it if it's not broken. That's the theory of FECA here. If it is working, if the team is winning stages, if they are fighting for a top 4, why the need to go on and try and make some new acquisitions for the second half of the season? It's a wonderful admission and a great show of faith, by the way, from Efe towards his riders for the rest of the season. But mid-season transfer, you ask, what on earth is that all about? Well, it is what happened to the Global Champions League at this stage. Excitingly is that the following stage in London will be the very first time that we get to see the new mid-season transfers come out for their new teams. How does it work? What are the numbers behind it? How does it all work out? Well, we asked Rosie Turner to sit down and give you a bit of an explainer to help you understand what to expect between now and London in the GCL and some new faces that may or may not be entering the competition.
The GCL mid-season transfer window starts now, but what exactly does that mean? Each season there is only one transfer window and it opens at the midway point of the championship. Every team can make up to 3 changes in or out, but as ever, there must always be an under-25 rider on each team. Team managers can bring in talent from other GCL teams, or they can recruit riders from outside the league, giving a chance to refresh and rebuild the team. It's all about strategy. But why now? Well, because this is the time to strengthen the squad in order to finish as high in the league as possible, especially with the GC Prague playoffs coming into focus. The new teams will officially be revealed ahead of our next stop, which is Stage 9 in London. The updated teams will be locked and loaded and ready for the second half of our season. This is the mid-season turning point. Watch it all unfold right here on GCTV and across our socials.
It's all about strategy, it's all about balance, it's all about trying to take what you already have that works well in your team and how can you make it that much better. Which one rider is floating around inside the other teams, or perhaps, as Rosie explained, externally as well, that can be brought into your team, can be brought into the GCL and hopefully give you a real stab at the GCL Super Cup Championship at the end of the season. We know how big a trophy that is. That is what all the managers are going to be thinking. Think of Kyle Tim last year for the Rome Gladiators. He ended up coming in as a mid-season transfer, was absolutely superb, jumped 70% clear throughout the second half of the season. It made him almost one of the best riders of the entire season, and he only came in for the second half. That's how impressive Kyle Tim was for the Rome Gladiators last year as a mid-season transfer. He is one of those standouts, one of those blueprints as to what you want as a manager from a mid-season transfer. So much so that now Kyle Tim, jumping alongside for the Prague Lions this year, we decided to catch up with him and get some thoughts from Kyle Tim.
Yeah, I think the team has been fighting really hard every show. There was a few unlucky one-down rails that I think really, were just small, tiny faults, but the scores were really consistent all season, and I think that's showing in the results, and, it's good riders to be surrounded by.
Top 4 obviously is incredible. The top 3 teams are slightly getting away. Do you feel that at the moment?
I think that would only motivate the Prague Lions more. I think this is, the last show of the first half of the season, and I think if they're, having someone to chase is always a motivation, I think, for all the good riders.
So behind the scenes, when you're having your conversations, are you still fighting for that top 3 or trying to stay in the top 5?
Oh, absolutely, fighting for the top 3. Yeah, I think the riders that are on this team, they're winners, and they want to be. There's only one thing they're aiming for, and that's to be in the top 3, and if not, winning the league if it's possible. You've
been superb on this team as well ever since you came onto it. And do you feel that kind of pressure now that you need to keep delivering?
Nope. I think the team is actually much better riders than me, and they do an incredible job. So I'm there to support them, the same as I always try to do my best. And it's not pressure; it's just to do your best every round, and I think the whole team appreciates that.
Tell us about this weekend. Who's here? Who's jumping?
Peter De Vos is here, Fernando is here, and I'm here. We have a good mix of horses between us, some younger horses, some older horses, and I think we're going to kind of have a little drink here and see if we figure out who's doing what for the teams tomorrow.
Lastly, this is a renowned arena for being very, very small. Does that suit your team this week?
I think so. I think we have a few experienced horses, so I think that helps. And, Fernando and Peter live in Belgium and Holland. They ride a lot of indoor shows. So I think, I think it's when you have arenas like this that are difficult, it's technical, it brings the mistakes can be bigger, but the good parts can be stronger also. So I think, we're sitting well to be there.
What makes the Global Champions League such an incredible challenge is the fact that it becomes so important to be able to conquer different environments at different stages. It asks so many questions of you week to week to week that you can now enter the smallest arena of the season here in Monaco and need to find the right horse, need to find the right team members that are going to find success and be able to cope with the challenges that this ring offers. We'll go into the course in a few moments' time, get some thoughts from some of the riders as well, as we welcome back Uliana Vizzani, the course designer. He joins us once again here in Monaco this week. Let's take you through the start list and give you an idea as to how the teams are going to be coming out today. A reminder that round one of the GCL is selected, auto-generated computer draw, and this is how they come out. Razorback International, powered by Horse Gym, Emanuele Camilli and Max Weishaupt are here today. Marco Kutscher currently walking the course as well. There's a potential change for the second round. Sasha Newgard-Lille and Michael Duffy come out for the Basel Cosmopolitans. Interesting to see the red-hot Falconsward United Gilles Thomas on Chiara, one of his 9-year-olds, alongside Lorenzo De Luca. Nice to have him back for Falconsward United as well. Natalie Dean and Kathleen Ackermann will be jumping for the Can Stars, powered by the Iron Dames. Simon de Lestre, Henrik von Ackermann for the Istanbul Warriors. That's an outstanding lineup for GCL round one. Kim Emmen is returning for Madrid Emotion with Helix. She will jump alongside Michael van der Vleuten and Beauville Z. What a pairing that is. Willem Vermeer, Jérôme Guéry for the Doha Falcons. And to wrap it up in last place, the team last to go, is Antoine Herman and Max Kuhner on Foxpit and EIC up to Jacko Blue. They will be the final team to go. The Shanghai Swans, many people's pre-season favourites, started the year in an absolute bang and are now amongst that group of three that are fighting for the championship lead. Falconsward United in that mix and Can Stars in that mix as well. Those are the front three that are trying to break away from the rest of the chasing pack. It's a lovely start position for the Shanghai Swans. By then, a lot of teams, in fact, every other team would have jumped, so they would know exactly where some of those challenges are. Any of their suspicions, it will all be confirmed by having the luxury of watching teams go before them. It is a luxury that will not be afforded to Razorback International, to the Scandinavian Vikings, the Paris Panthers, etc., that are early to go. We get some thoughts, as we said, from some of the teams that are currently inside the course. We remind you of the beautiful arena that we find ourselves in, and we'll show you exactly how that looks like. Course walk officially underway. All of the riders in the ring, making sure that they walk those lines, make sure that they jot down every single fraction of a meter, because that is going to matter later on this afternoon when they and their horses are trying to tackle each and every single one of these fences. Which of the teams have been successful here in Monaco before? That's a question. We spoke about it at the top of the show. We gave you an idea as to which of those teams have been crowned champions here before. Falconsward United, dating back to the very first year, going on to win here. The Vienna Eagles, well, good win for them. Rome Gladiators and the Scandinavian Vikings in 18 and 19. The Paris Panthers in 2021. And Stockholm Hearts winning back in 2022. Wasn't that a great victory for them? Razorback International, was that not the 100th stage of the Global Champions League, if I recall correctly? And then the Can Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, going on to win in 2024. Who then is going to be the 2025 champion? That we'll find out by the end of the night. Let's get into the arena. Go back to Rosie Turner one more time and get some thoughts and reaction from some of the riders. Rosie, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I've got Natalie Dean alongside me from Can Stars, powered by Iron Dames. It's been a difficult weekend already for the team, and we haven't even begun. Natalie, just tell us a little bit about what's happened.
Yeah, so I actually didn't see it yesterday, but Jana had an unfortunate fall yesterday in the warm-up. Everyone is in high spirits, but she did hurt her shoulder, so she's going to be out for a little while. But she's still cheering us on, and we do the best we can.
How much has it changed the plans this weekend?
Yeah, I think we were planning on seeing how all the horses jumped in the warm-up and then making the plan for today. This is why we always bring 3 riders, and we always try to be prepared that everyone can jump the team if they need to, so we're making the best of it.
I'm glad to hear that she's okay and she'll be on the mend very soon. Can Stars won this last year. How confident are you that you can do it again?
Yeah, I mean, it's a small ring. It's very difficult. I think that there's going to be faults everywhere, and I hope that our team can pull off another win.
Tell me a little bit about the course. I mean, I'm currently looking at the double 8A and B, and it's incredibly bright, this double, no matter whether it's technical, but it's incredibly bright as well.
Yeah, I think anytime a ring is this small, it always rides a bit more technical than it maybe walks, and we really just have to trust the horses and really stick to our plan.
In terms of an arena like this, from someone that probably doesn't know that much, is it about slowing the horses down quite a lot? Because I guess the faster you go, the quicker these jumps come up.
Yeah, I think it's really about using your track and making sure that the horses don't cut in over the jumps and in the turns, because it kind of ruins your distance if they start to fall in a bit and anticipate those turns.
I'm glad Jana's here cheering you guys on. Has she given you any advice?
Yeah, I think she's always a big supporter of us, and we're really a family, so we're wishing her a speedy recovery, and she's always going to be cheering for us.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for your time. We'll let you go. Carry on walking the course and getting ready. The Cannes Stars go just after the break today. They've got the advantage of watching a few teams jump this course first, but Jana is out for this week and probably for a couple of weeks more, but we'll wait to hear on her progress mark.
Thank you very much to Rosie. Thank you very much to Natalie Dean. Terrible news for Jana Fredrika Meyer-Zimmermann, a former winner here in Cannes on the LGCT stage. I beg your pardon, and now for her then have that injury to then find herself being injured for a couple of weeks now. She is still around, she is still supporting, and she is still part of that Iron Dames family. I have no doubt that she will be very present, just unfortunately not on a horse competing as we would have liked for Jana Fredrika Meyer-Zimmermann. We do wish her a very speedy recovery. Let's, oh, isn't that a beautiful shot? Give you perspective as to where we find ourselves this week here in Porticule, with the beautiful water behind us, the super yachts, the wonderful climb up the mountain into that wonderful famous casino. Loads and loads of James Bond references that are all taking place up the road here. But it is all about show jumping this week. It is all about the Global Champions League, and it is all about round one that gets underway in a few moments' time. The big talking point is this arena. It is literally the smallest arena in the entire season. But just how small, you ask, because if you think about it, Saint-Tropez is a very small ring. Cannes is a very small ring. But Monaco at 75 by 28 meters is the smallest ring of the season. Take a look at Riesenbach, by the way. We'll be traveling through to Riesenbach in a little bit later on this year. That is what in a 150 meter by 90 meter ring the Monaco ring looks like, to give you perspective of just how small this is and just how many of those Monaco rings would actually fit inside the massive grass ring of Riesenbach. Gives you perspective on the challenges that I talk about. Riders need to be able to come through to Monaco at 75 by 28 and be competitive, but equally need to move to a giant grass ring of Riesenbach at 150 meters, much like what we see in Mexico City, much like we see at the Longines International Arena at Tops, at Valkenswaard. It is all the same challenges from these major grass rings, and we are looking forward to those shows coming up a little bit later on. Riesenbach International, by the way, will be hosts of that event. That takes place in September. We're looking forward to the Valkenswaard show as well. I talk about then going to that wonderful, wonderful, famous grass ring at the Tops Arena. And that is also just something that is magnificent to witness, and we look forward to all of these stages coming up a little bit later on by the later parts of the season. For now, though, I wonder if maybe we can quickly go back to Rosie as well, just get some thoughts from some of the riders. Who else mentioned anything? What was a recurring theme, Rosie? Those are some of the questions we love to hear from you on the ground, in and amongst the riders. What is happening? What has been the recurring theme? What has been said? Often this arena is talked about as a pinball machine. That gives you some perspective as to how it's being described. Think about a pinball machine, and that is exactly how it feels when you are riding it. Let's hear from Rosie once again. What are the thoughts, Rosie? What's been said to you off camera? What have been some of those recurring themes from the riders?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I think a pinball machine is completely the perfect way to describe it. I mean, we've been wandering around, and every second you're already in another rider's line that they're trying to walk. It is really small in here. It's incredibly impressive as well, I have to say. Looking at all the fences in here, it looks incredibly tight, but as these course designers are so clever, they make it as spacious as they possibly can. I think the riders quite enjoy the challenge as well. They've all said to me it's going to be very technical, because the fact that it's not going to be huge in here, so it will be more technical this week. But it's brilliant to see so many fences and so many riders in here having to walk it a number of times just to get their bearings, because it does feel like, as you said, a pinball machine.
All right, Rosie, thank you very much. We'll let you get back to work, Rosie, and we'll let you get ready for the riders. Round 1 of the Global Champions League about to get underway in a few moments' time. Think about the challenge as well, by the way, for course designer Uliana Vidzani. He has so little real estate to work with, yet still he needs to put the right amount of fences, the right amount of challenges, the right amount of combinations into a ring like this, but he just does not have the space that he'd like to play with. So, in order to make this challenging, it's incredible work as well from the course designer who uses this venue and can still ask those questions of the best in the world. Global Champions League Round 1 is next. We are live in Porto in Monte Carlo, Monaco. Let's go and join the action.
Leg 8 of the Longines Global Champions Tour, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the fabulous Monaco. Welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour. Welcome to GCL Round 1 this afternoon. It's a quite majestic location. We're nestled up alongside the Mediterranean Sea. It could not be more picturesque. This is literally within meters of the stadium here. It's a warm afternoon, 34 degrees. And, well, there's a few clouds dotted around the Mediterranean sky, but it is a very good afternoon. There's a little cooling breeze just to take the sting out of the heat for our horses. And our crowd assembles for what will be a very exciting GCL Round 1 this afternoon. There will be 18 individuals to come before the teams come, 17 teams to come into this 9th GCL year. And we're at the midway point of the season. The mid-season transfer window is open, so there could be changes ringing around our 17 teams. And last year's winners, the Cannes Stars, they were brilliant their inaugural year. Deborah Meyer's all-lady cast, they won the season's championships last year. And they are again in front this year, having won leg 1 in Doha. They've had 4 podiums in total this year. And the course team led by Uliana Vidzani, this incredible builder from Italy. The Italian mastermind. His track is certainly a very big effort this afternoon. For 50 metres is the length of the course, just 50 metres shy of the half kilometre. And 72 seconds is the time allowed. And that is a quite incredible backdrop that we enjoy here in Monaco. That breeze is certainly a welcome relief, and the horses will be beautifully looked after. The conditions here are all world class. Peter de Vos out on his course walk. Edwin Thompson Alexander surveys the scene. Monaco Comets 13. Koen Verrecke and Willem Vermeer from Belgium. And that man celebrated because Istanbul Warriors, his team won last leg 7 in Paris. Went to Istanbul Warriors, and that man's been there. He's done it all. John Whittaker here from Great Britain. Gregory Cotard from France. Emmanuel Achille and Max Weishaupt, Riesenbeck Internationals pair this afternoon. Assess the scene. Ines Jolie, she won the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix here last year with Ambassador Z here in Monaco. What a brilliant win for Ines it was. This is an incredible arena. It really is impressive. It's the most compact arena actually on the circuit. But it will be fascinating because the tight turns mean you need a scopy horse to navigate. They need to be able to get out of the turns and really operate, so you need a powerful horse in terms of the bascule that he or she possesses. This is the second smallest worldwide sovereign city-state after Vatican City. And we take you down through the start list. Anastasia Nielsen from Monaco will lead us into action. Geoffrey Puck will be followed by Harry Smolders. Harry, who won the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Cannes with Monaco, starts with Mr. Tack. Spencer Smith, Mr. Very good HHS Seattle for Spencer, number 10. And Juliette Bayard and Gregory Cotard coming back to back. Catherine Romberg's been in great form for Shanghai Swans. She'll come at 17. And, well, these are the team riders. There's going to be some intense battle. Looking forward to the likes of Gilles Thomas. He won the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix last leg in Paris. Jeanne Sadron and Ines Jolie starting for Monaco Comets. And their Mexico amigos, Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff and Koen Verrecke. Natalie Dean and Katrin Ekin will look very good for Cannes Stars here this afternoon. And very well placed is Madrid in Motion. Kim Eman and Michael van der Vleut, a late draw for them. And Max Kuhne alongside Antoine Herman, they will be for the Shanghai Swans. The advantage is being the last of GCL round 1 this afternoon. Great view of the slender arena here. 28 metres is its width only, and the length is 75 metres. So that compact arena just adds to the difficulty. Geir Gulliksen alongside Sarah Ringgrad-Kova and Jörg Vrooling for Scandinavian Vikings. And they lie at the moment in 16th position on our GCL season's leaderboard after 7 legs. So a very good afternoon to you. We start the individual batch of riders prior to the team competition for GCL round 1. The man in the black t-shirt is Cameron Hanley, who's here on behalf of Carlswood Stable of Cian O'Connor, because they are at the helm of training this Anastasia Nilsson, the trailblazer, this afternoon. So that was Cameron Hanley alongside Natalie Dean, just talking about the fate of Anastasia Nilsson, the trailblazer this afternoon. And this young lady is a brilliant talent, and this being her home nation, that is the added pressure on her shoulders. Three double combinations out on the track of Ilona Vetsani this afternoon. And Anastasia Nilsson will show us a way around the course. It's a long run down between fences 1 and 2, the Fiat Monaco vertical. 150 tall, then 7 strides down to the Longines Oxa. 150 square, and Action Man, he is the son of Action Break across the stack at all, 11 years of age, this gelding. Anastasia then into the Seahorses. Pale Blue Oxa, right-handed dog leg turned down to the Longines plank. This horse produced by Andreas Sko. Partnership has been together since August 2022. This is only their 4th 1m55 track, so they've made a very good halfway start. And this horse is Longines Global Champions Tour debut. Lovely jump out over that very airy Oxa. A left-handed turn into the horses combination. 1 stride between the 150 and 150 square. Vertical to Oxa. There's the GCL combination on the far side. Anastasia Nilsson has ridden a very good round so far down to the Prague playoffs vertical. That goes, I'm afraid. 3 from home in an otherwise very solid performance this afternoon to get us underway. Only 19 years of age. Anastasia then, sees a deep stride, I'm afraid, down into the final fence. The Casino vertical, 155 tall it is. Just down to the very base of that fence. For the second arrow out of the course for Anastasia Nilsson for Monaco. So 2 verticals, the tail of her afternoon here in GCL round 1. 8. Anastasia Nilsson and Action Man number 1 this afternoon. The new starter, this lady again, not old at all. She's 24 years of age and won number 445. Brazil's Mariana Frauches Chavez getting on course. Number 2. Now this lady started in Madrid. This is her 2nd Longines Global Champions Tour start this year. She was at the 2019 South American Youth Championships in Paraguay, 6th individually with La Divine WZ some 6 years ago. Mariana is on course. This is Pedro van der Barlebus. He's young enough, only 10, son of Echo van der Spieveld, crossed to a higher van der Paderborn. This horse is at his 6th Longines Global Champions Tour starts. With us this week in Monaco, makes a very good start down to the GC Skinny. It's very wide though, imposingly built, 150 square. Comes early at 5. This the verticals, little rattle out, but it is all intact. Down through the leaves, the grey leaves. 150 in, 155 out. Mariana, though, I'm afraid, falters out of the horses double. A B front bar out to the cups. Her career maiden Grand Prix win was in January last year, the 2-star Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. Verdict at Kerzeg won in the United Arab Emirates. And this is a very big oxer as well, over the water as well, the Liverpool. Vine fence at 11. Down into the Casino vertical. Good round for the young Brazilian. Mariana Frauches Chavez comes home. The Monegasque crowd here certainly appreciate the good effort from two young guns at the start of GCL round 1. She'll be over time as well. Just a 300th of a second excess of the time allowed. Will add one-time penalty. It is 5, the opening score for Mariana Frauches Chavez this afternoon for Brazil, and the very smart Pedro van der Barlebus, number 2. This man likely to post the first competitive round of the afternoon. I think it is Victor Bettendorf on course for Luxembourg. On Courtois du Linon jumping. Second season with Victor. This is actually their very first Longines Global Champions Tour start, but their recent form was impressive. In Royal Windsor, they won the Manamar Rose Horse Stakes there, 150 competition against the clock. I know Victor, again, just shows how tough this course is, because this man is an impressive competitor. GC's Oxer goes. Now Victor Bettendorf down to the next combination. Back-to-back doubles coming. 8AB, 9AB. This the one right on the flank of this arena though, so maybe concentration will come into question right by the arena perimeter. This needle-like arena, it really is slender. So you've got to have a horse that can turn and keep balance effectively. This man's very good at high-speed turns and keeping balance. Yeah, 1 down as well on the home run. In fact, 3 down in total. So I'm afraid my prediction of the early lead for Victor Bettendorf falls into demise out on the course. 12 it is, Victor Bettendorf, and on Courtois du Linon for Luxembourg, number 3. The new starter, the distinguished green jacket. Geoffrey Puck for Austria comes forward. He's 52 years of age this time and won number 39. Geoffrey has a distinguished championship record for Austria. He has been with the Austrian national team since Hickstead back in '99, over a quarter of a century ago. He's based up to the north of Salzburg in Austria at Lamprechtshausen. Now, this is Ideal Special HJ. He is the son of Feliza de Musa, crossed to Carino for Geoffrey, down to the Dutch Studbook, the KWPN Royal Dutch National Studbook. Geoffrey's last outing with us was in Cannes on the Longines Global Champions Tour. He had quite a tough week, to be honest, but this horse was a saving grace because 9th in the Prix du Département des Alpes-Maritimes. Now, yeah, one early mistake, because the speed Geoffrey Pucker set off at is pretty brisk, and yeah, he decides, I think, enough is enough quickly. Could just see the horse leaning on his hand. Probably the explanation for the early rail down. Maybe he's going to continue, look to be fairly definitive retirement. Geoffrey Puck was just establishing control. The round goes on for the Austrian. His son Tobias Pfingster also competing internationally. Geoffrey Puck comes down to the Prime Plaus verticals. A long run down between 9B out of the GCL double to that Prime Plaus vertical. So when you're on a clear round, there's certainly a bit of place you can really scorch some time off down to that Prime Plaus vertical. Tough round for Geoffrey Puck. I'm sad to say it's going to be 22 for the very strong Austrian. Tough round for him in the GCL round 1 this afternoon in Monaco around Ilan Vetsani's. Certainly very interesting 1m55 course. This was, I think, just a little bit strong in the Austrian's hand. this could be, though. I would stay with that statement, the pair to change things around here and give us the first clear of GCL round 1, because Harry Smulders enters the heated battle. What number 19 getting started. What a brilliant win with Monaco. Came in Cannes, their first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix win. And this horse, the horse that Victor Behlendorf used to ride, so this horse groomed for high speed by Victor. Mr. Tack is on course for Harry Smulders. This partnership, they won the championship of the city of Hamburg. That's actually the horse's 4th win this year alone, and Harry Smulders is well away here. Blistering pace down to the grey leaves set of verticals, and Mr. Tack is on form here. Harry turns back to this narrowed oxer, only 110 the anchors to encourage a tight turn into it and away from it, and a very good round here. This was that Harry Cohen's with Genevieve Maigret. Comes down, rattles down to the Pride Plus vertical. Just gets out over it, rather skewing airborne, but Harry now chases homebound. It's been an exhibition again from Harry Smulders. What a wonderful jockey he's been over the years. So consistent, so powerful. His work method, his rate of work is impressive. That is the first clear round through the GCL round 1. Harry Smulders sets the time to beat with Mr. Tack, 64.32 it is. The first clear of the afternoon goes in a Dutch direction. The next to come, John Whittaker. We welcome John. Will turn 70 start of August later this year. And John saddles Sharid this afternoon. This, the son of Toulon, owned by Sultan So, for this simple living legend of world show jumping. John's Longines Global Champions Tour career dates back to the Grand Prix of Lausanne in 2014, where he was second with Argento. This horse was in very good form, 3rd in Friday night's Prix Baron de Rothschild in Cannes. Pioneer Villiers and Jacoma Cassadai. And they were very well placed in Royal Windsor, 3rd in the King's Cup. Now John Whittaker takes on Harry Smulders, 64.32 second leading time. John and Claire from north of Yorkshire, they've got a very nice base in the hills there. John, with his herd of cows as well, be out doing farming duties as well, but I'm afraid Sharid takes out the vertical into the horse's double at 8-8. Great to see Robert winning the Hickstead Derby recently, 4th Whittaker. Robert became to win the Hickstead Derby. John, Michael and William have all won it. So Sharid comes home, but just one down, I'm afraid, for John Whittaker. Into the horses combination 8A for Sharid at Sultan So's. Now 16-year-old Bay completes 71.49 was the time, with the one down out of the course here in Monaco for Great Britain's John Whittaker. Little light touch at the Seahorses Oxer. This mistake, of course, John had to try and mount a challenge. Harry Smulders, so just had to come quite quickly down with that combination. That was the error point of Sharid. This man's becoming quite a force on the world stage. He's still only 21 years of age. Inigo Lopez de la Osa Franco gets started for Monaco. His ride this afternoon, Porsche Carrera Castanu, number 7. Harry Smulders out in first place, 64.32, but I'm afraid the Longines Oxer 150 square at 2 is the first blemish. This horse makes his Longines Global Champions Tour debut this afternoon and his 1:55 debut as well. Inigo was well placed, the King's Cup 13th in Madrid, behind Katrin Eckermann and Chao Li. Now Inigo just struggling. This horse fairly strong in the hand, I think. Just trying to keep him settled in this bright atmosphere here on home sand for the Monegasque. Inigo Lopez Tolosa Franco now turns down to the Prime Players vertical. He's based in France, where he trains with Simon on the sidelines. We just saw his coach a moment ago, Simon Delestre, and Marcel Delestre, Simon's father, but the refusal comes down to the Prime Players vertical. It's not easy when they're strong on your hand. You can just, of course, fail to attack sufficiently, putting the brakes on. You can just let the horse come behind your seat. That is the risk when they're this strong. It's 25, I'm afraid. Tough round for young Inigo Lopez Tolosa Franco out on the course. Villano Vezzani, 25 for Portugal Castanu. He'll be back, and frustrating for him at home to have had a tough afternoon in GCL round 1. The next to come, Great Britain's Harry Charles gets started. Harry, 25 years of age. This the pair that in the wake of the Paris Olympic gold medal last year, they won the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix at London, Royal Chelsea Hospital. Sherlock is on course for Harry, and his target is Harry Smolders at 64.32 on the former Victor Behlendorf ride. Missed attack on lead here in GCL round 1. This horse sadly retired in his last outing with Harry. That was the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Cannes. But he was very good in Windsor as well this year. Early March, 3rd place in the 5-star Grand Prix in Great Britain. Harry Charles down to the horses combination. Same fence as for John Whittaker moments ago, so the two for Britain both have fallen unstuck at 8A. Harry Charles down to the Prague Plus vertical. This little horse was one of his potential rides for the games last year, but Harry thinks a lot of this horse. He's very talented, but it will be the one down and a couple of 3-time penalties as well. It is going to be 7 this afternoon, GCL round 1. For Great Britain's young gun Harry Charles has 7 with Sherlock, Son of Biscuit Blues, Sea Cross and Melita de Red for Harry, number 8. Well, we've jumped 8 combinations. There's still only the one clear round. It just shows the demands of Villano Vezzani's GCL round 1 course. That the clear for Harry Smolders, 64.32, the leading time. The new starter, this man lying very well in the Longines Global Champions Tour season standings in 5th place. With 2 outstanding Grand Prix in Shanghai, 4th there with Napoli van Het Neder Rassentov. And then as well with Napoli, he was 6th in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Cannes. Andreas Sko is on course. This is Billy Matador out of start. This one out of the Billy stud of Donald Barnwell, William and Pippa Funnell in Sussex in the south of England. Now this horse is 23rd, last leg, Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Paris. And this is their 3rd year together. Andreas Sko runs down to the verticals. This is a sharp start here for the Dane. Studied mathematics at university. He won his first 5-star Grand Prix at Sopot in Poland in 2022 with Independence. But yeah, one down again, I'm afraid. So still, this course is taking its fair toll of these world-class combinations, one after another, and the second error. Now for the GCL double, 9B also hits the sand after a very good-looking start for Andreas Sko. Billy Matador comes down to the Casino final fence. Little woe on the approach, but it is going to be 2 down this afternoon. 8 penalties for the Elegant Dane. enters his score with Billy Batador, and the time 65.99 for Denmark's Andreas Skov. What a scene, what an incredible backdrop. It is literally 10 meters from the ring. The Mediterranean Sea and Porto, the wonderful harbour alongside the show here this afternoon. The Longines Global Champions Tour has been coming to Monaco ever since our inaugural year back in 2006. Now we go to the USA, and Spencer Smith lines up. Spencer, number 117. He is still only 27 years of age, and this HHS Seattle. This pair very well placed last year in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Shanghai in China for 6th place. Second season with Spencer, produced by Arnes McGarrigan initially. Spencer had the very good Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix win in Shamron in Slovakia, November 2021, with Theodore Manciez. And from the Question family, Spencer Smith is on course with HHS Seattle. Harry Smolder's out in first place, Mr. Tag 64.32 to beat. Outside the Longines plank, and a very good turn, sharp into the GC. Skinny Oxer. So narrow jumping faces, far from small in dimensionality for jump, but the narrow faces, the difference is a factor. Spencer Smith is on a very good way here. Halfway point and it's secure, as we still sight only the second clear round of the afternoon here in Monaco. Spencer Smith down through the GCL double, but the vertical X-Sting is another one to take that 155 tool vertical. Family steeps in equestrianism. Grandfather was a vet. His other grandfather a horse dealer. Dad was a trainer and horse dealer. Spencer Smith, I'm afraid, will have just one down. Good round. We're still 5+ seconds adrift. Harry Smolders is very quick time with Mr. Tack. That will take some beating, as we are certainly seeing. But Spencer Smith still has done enough to go into second. 4 penalties coming at 9B for the Tall American. Could this be the man to target Harry Smolders' leading time? 64.32 for the Flying Dutchman. Oliver Lazarus, we welcome the South African Saddles Butterfly NML this afternoon. This is very good mare. She is a daughter of Caprice Brown. Margot crossed the Lux said. They had 2 wins in Doha start of this year. And this is their second Longines Global Champions Tour start this year after Cannes. This is a very quick combination. Oliver based at Valkenswaard, Jan Tops' stunning base, where we will go for leg 10 later this summer. Well, Lazarus, quick, he is away down through the Seahorse Ox, a little right leg dog leg turn into the Longines plank. It's a very good start, this mare, she's quick. She's got very fast leg speed, she can turn on a dime. Quite a little rattle, yeah, and I'm afraid it's a late fall up. Was a delicate touch, but it does fall. Fell, well, 5 seconds or so after contact, I think. 2 and 3 errors going in quick order. After a very good start, the South African challenge, I'm afraid, falters. The contrast between the most compact arena on the Longines Global Champions Tour circuit here in Monaco versus Riesenbeck, which is the largest arena on the Longines Global Champions Tour, means that you've got to have a horse with a lot of natural power and scope, because you can't necessarily turn that quickly. You can't rely on any sort of momentum to get you over the fence. You've got to have a pure scope machine. And after a good start Oliver Lazarus comes home with a cluster of penalties, I'm afraid, with Butterfly Animal, the South African pair. Number 11 this afternoon, also owned by the team at Quest Property Limited Company. Michael Duffy, who trains Zoe Conte, watches on because his prodigy, what a talent she is, and she had a brilliant Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. 7th she was in Cannes, H5 Cacophony. And that was like 5. Zoe Conte is aboard at Tombola Z this afternoon. She is sort of Toulon Cross at Dominar. And this 11-year-old mare that is owned by Dan Stefek Stable. Zoe's just become managing director of the Stefan's finance company. H5 Jacques, how good she was in Cannes, but I'm afraid early mistake comes the Seahorse Zoxa for Tombola Z this afternoon. Zoe down to the grey leaves combination. Zoe Conte down through the horses double. That early mistake, but otherwise very good round. She's an elegant horsewoman. Michael himself based with Helena Stormers at Eschweiler, and Helena's guidance of Michael into the progress of Zoe Conte, taking very good order this year on the Longines Global Champions Tour. Zoe Conte comes homebound, but it is the early mistake, I'm afraid. The Seahorse Zoxa, the one down, good round, commanding performance overall from the daughter of Toulon, Tombola Z. Michael Duffy wipes his lip, and just the one mistake for Zoe Conte this afternoon. The next to come, Julien Paillard could be the one to challenge here. Harry Smolders is leading time 64.32. Julien, who won the Grand Prix here, Donatello Dorje 2 years ago, 2023. Clear of Harry Smolders and Philippe Rosier, the 1-2-3 that year. Julien, though, is aboard this fairly new right-in Fringand de Vesquerie. This pair together since just late May, their 5th competitive week only here in Monaco, and their 3rd Longines Global Champions Tour starts. But they've had a very good time on the tour so far. They were 4th in GCL round 1 in Ramator Saint-Tropez. And Cannes, they were 4th in the Saturday speed class, the Prix de Département Alpes-Maritimes, behind Emanuele Gaudiano and Vasco. Julien from this year up in Normandy turns into the GC but it goes again. Problems very evenly scattered around Ilana Vetsani's course out there, that is for certain. One after another failing to give us another clear round. Julien Paillard down this long run between GCL's combination, 9A and B down to the Pride Playoffs vertical at 10. Such a quick rider naturally. He didn't go fast on this big new right for him with that one mistake, but still not a million miles away from Harry Smolders' time. But it is the 4th Fringand de Vesquerie, and France's Julien Paillard just completing GCL round 1 here in Monte Carlo. Porte Hercule, and he will go actually into 2nd place as the quickest for full round. But still, Harry Smulders 4 seconds quicker than the entire field so far. We have now jumped 13 combinations, and Harry Smulders is heads and shoulders above the others that have started so far. The new starter in the bridle without a noseband. He takes a very minimalistic approach to his tack to have a very fine interface of communication with his horses. Francis Gregory Cotard gets started. He's from the north of France, Lille, his base. The Wee Stables in Drocourt. Gregory Cotard won the Lyon Porsches 140 opening class last year at Ramateur Saint-Tropez with this. Gamagord's Corolla is on course of France. It's combination number 14. 12-year-old mare daughter of Compagnero crossed to Aston out of the Danish Warm Blood stud book. Greg Cotard down at the very deep base of the Longines plank at 4, gets out of a deep enough spot there. Gamagord's Corolla starts off very well here. Massive many. Turns back to the White Ox, gets a long takeoff distance there, just slithers out over the top of it. Maybe slightly hard-stopped moment for a second there. Corolla, she's at her second Longines Global Champions Tour start this year. She was in Mexico City. The stake comes mid-course, I'm afraid, for Gregory Cotard. It's a good round for the man from the north of France. Gregory Cotard comes home. Last year, the best Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix finishes were with Coquin Duval, 6th in Cannes, and 9th in Paris again with Coquin last year. 4th place, 69 seconds flat, with the one mid-course error for Francis Gregory Cotard and Gamagord's Corolla. That's the course of Ilana Vetsani. This man has got a very exciting future. Italy's Giacomo Cassadei gets started, still only 22 years of age. And he saddles this afternoon Corredina van der Klein Astonk Z, number 15. She's young daughter of Colin Zablinski, 11 years of age, Damsire and Yamo Z. The number 169 is on course from Bologna in Italy. Giacomo is very well placed in the Prix Baron de Rothschild in Cannes, second. Behind Vrilling and Cornet Blue PS at leg 5. He had a super win with us in Madrid, the Trofeo Gruppo Eulen. Evertson Vanta Paradis. That was at leg 4, and the Italian makes a very good start here in the colours of Carabinieri. Little horse who can turn quickly, so well suited to the arena here in Monaco. Very light-footed horse and not tall under the measuring stick either. I think about 16 hands, but no more. Rattles into GCL combination. But Giacomo Cassadei is going very well here as we look for clear number 2 after now 15 combinations. Harry Smulders' time is well safe here, but it's a shame. Penultimate goes. Still the cause bears its teeth late into Giacomo Cassadei's scorecard. It was a good round for the young Italian. Corredina van der Klein Astonk Z comes home with a penultimate. 6:7:38 was the time. Still 3 seconds adrift to Harry Smulders and Mr. Tech. 4 penalties for Giacomo Cassadei. Number 15 for Italy. Good round to watch. Well, what a view overlooking this arena. It is spectacular. And we welcome now the young Norwegian, 28 years of age. Jan Sebastian Gulliksen gets started. This is his very good Billy Mexico son. Equine America, Billy Take That is the new starter. Now the same start for Billy Matador, who came earlier for Andreas Sko. This pair have had a very good season. They won the Speed Stakes of the Longines Hong Kong Horse Show. That was back in February. 2 wins locally at their base in Norway at Drammen in May. And this is the pair's 3rd Longines Global Champions Tour start this year after Madrid and Ramator Saint-Tropez. Legs 4 and 6 respectively. Jan Sebastian outside of the Longines plank. This the crunch turn back to the GCL. Gets it very smartly. Jan Sebastian was in Paris. He had a good 5th place in the Prix de la Région Île-de-France on the last day with Billy Vandross with 1 time penalty. Same fence as the 2 Brits in close order earlier. John Whittaker and Harry Charles both had 8A into the horses double. So in good company now, Sebastian Gulliksen. He lies 72nd on the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix standings at the halfway point of the 2025 season, which we are pretty much right on now. And the mid-season transfer window is open. We'll have those declarations of any team ins or outs that will come before London. The next leg, Dad, Geir Gulliksen, Jimmy looks on. 3 changes per team permissible. And certainly that is fascinating as we look to see who will challenge Can Stars out in front with that mid-season transfer window. Approaching the decisions, Can Stars leading Valkenswaard United and Shanghai Swans, the top 3 in GCL standings at the season's halfway point. The 7 former legs it has been. 4 teams that have won those 7 legs. A pair of wins for both Valkenswaard United and Shanghai Swans. The 1 win for Can Stars, but their consistency has put them into 1st place. Saint-Tropez Pirates, who won the leg in Cannes, leg 5, and the last leg in Paris went to Istanbul Warriors. They are the 5 teams who have won the 7 legs, as I say, prior to coming here to Monaco for leg 8. The new starter, this the lady from Dornberg for Alberg, far west side of Austria, close to the Swiss and German border. Katarina Romberg is on the course. This is Cleister's Cambridge. Katarina's had a wonderful Shanghai Swan season this year. She was part of the win in Mexico City and 2nd in Madrid. And this horse jumped clear rounds in GCL round 1 in both of those 2 wins for Shanghai Swans. Cleister's Cambridge makes a very, very tidy start. This is his 3rd Longines Global Champions Tour start this year. And Katarina, a rookie on the Longines Global Champions Tour this year. Her dream was to compete alongside the giants, Chris Daum and Daniel Deusser, and she's not only competing alongside them, but winning alongside them. But looks to be, retiring. Hand goes up to signal to our Grand Jury presidents. That is Francis Hethkes Jones, Trulzi from Italy. Now the Austrian, I'm afraid, will retire. Cleister's Cambridge out on the course of Ilan Vettani in GCL round 1. Disappointing for Katarina Romberg. She's had a great season, but a tough opening round for her this week. Leg 8 in Monaco on the Longines Global Champions Tour. The last individual to come in GCL round 1 prior to the GCL team competition starting. Marco Kutscher from Germany, we welcome, 50 years of age. Marco, he's had a very good season. The 2nd place in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Madrid. The highlight with Aventador S behind Yolimita Loneo and Latista Toxandra. But he's had other good results as well. He was 3rd in Cannes. That was the pre-GCTV on Friday night in Cannes behind Mariano Martinez Bastida. And last leg he was 7th with Catali in the Eiffel Challenge. Last class in the French capital, Paris. Now this is his very exciting new ride. Former long-term partner of Christian Kukuk. This pair together since just April, late April even this year. Mumbai is on the course. This is their 3rd show only as a new combination. Their maiden Longines Global Champions Tour start as well. Mark Kuchar makes a very polished start with Mumbai. Has had several Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix wins with us in Arezzo 09, Ramator Saint-Tropez 2015, and later that same 2015 season, Valkenswaard, Cash Cornets Cristallo and Van Gogh respectively. Now Marco Kuchar to deliver the 2nd clear only. They have been few and far between. The 18th and last for the interval in GCL round 1. Harry Smulders is safe chronologically, but this is finally, hopefully, the 2nd clear round of the afternoon. Mumbai comes home and Mark Kuchar will go 2nd. Katja Ackermann watches on as her fellow German Mark Kuchar delivers finally clear number 2. Only 1 in 9 have managed a clear round around this highly influential course of Ilana Vetsani here in Monaco, leg 8 on the Longines Global Champions Tour. It's a new combination, and that's a very good round, bearing in mind their Nunes as a pair. As we come to the short intermission, and only 2 clears, having jumped 18 and Mr. Tech. Harry Smulders is out in front, winners of the Championship of Hamburg earlier this season. And Harry, who claimed his first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix win with Monaco in Cannes. He'd won others, of course, with other horses, but Monaco had yet to have won a Grand Prix coming into Cannes. Leads by 3.73 seconds. Mark Kuchar, the 2nd clear round only this afternoon. 1 down for John Whitaker and Sharad, and also for Harry Charles and Sherlock. This course certainly taking its toll. It's a twisty-turny test in this compact arena, nestled up alongside Porte-Écule. It's a stunning, stunning location. Very, very, very good Thursday afternoon of world-class horse sport. Our crowd having a very good afternoon. Hello to our crowd. As we start now to think towards what will happen in the GCL team competition, because there's halfway points in the season. Cannes Stars sitting out in front. They had a brilliant start to their season. They won leg 1 in Doha. They haven't won again. Bear in mind, 2 teams have won 2 legs, Valkenswaard United and Shanghai Swans. But Cannes Stars' consistency has been through the roof, so that is why they lead the GCL at the halfway stage of the season. Mid-season transfers, as we've said, they will be coming into declaration soon prior to London. We'll know who has changed in their teams. We'll see you very soon prior to GCL starting. Do not go far. We'll be back very shortly for the start of the GCL team competition from Monaco. It's a short break. Thank you for watching. Leg 8 of the Longines Global Champions Tour brings us this stunning location of Monaco. It is the second smallest worldwide sovereign city-state after Vatican City. An incredible city of glamour, of wealth, of Formula One fame. And the Longines Global Champions Tour has been coming here since the very start of us back in 2006. This is the 9th edition of the GCL here in Monaco. And over the former 8 editions, no team has actually won here twice. And I can tell you that Paris Panthers are the most successful team in our history. They won here in 2021, Paris Panthers, and was second 2 years ago behind Riesenbeck International. It's a very nice afternoon. The breeze, thankfully, is picked up, so it's a cooling breeze for our horses because we're up at 34 degrees. And welcome to Monaco. Alongside Porte-Cool, it's a quite magnificent location. The individuals completed, and now 17 teams to come. These are the former champions, Cannes Stars, who won last year. Paris Panthers, as I say, they were the winners here in 2021, and they've had a very good second place as well back in 2023 behind Riesenbeck International. The crowd pressed up alongside this compact arena. It is 28 metres in width. It is the smallest on the Longines Global Champions Tour this year, 75 metres. So you need a horse that can really turn tight. And after 7 legs, it is last year's champions, Cannes Stars, who have a slender lead. It's only 3 points they enjoy. Valkenswaard United and Shanghai Swans, they've both won 2 GCL legs this year, but Cannes Stars have been so consistent to lead the way. Prague Lions in 4th. And these teams all with work to do because we will not have one team start at the Prague playoffs later this year. Only 16 and 17 teams will be starting in Prague. And also the other incentive is the top 4 teams will not have to jump the quarter-final. Come the playoffs, they'll get a bye into the semis. But now we take you around the course of Ilana Vezzani for GCL round 1. 450 metres, the length of the Italian designer's course. And 72 seconds. Table A rules, so we can look for the quickest clear round around the course. And there's the fire. It's a Monaco vertical 150 tall, fence 1. It's a long run, 7 strides down along the waterfront essentially. The Longines 150 squares, fence number 2. And then the sharp enough turn back to fence 3. Across the diagonal is the Seahorses Oxer 150 square. They then have a dogleg, a right-handed turn. It's a 7-stride distance down to the plank. The Longines vertical fence number 4, 150 tall. There's another sharp turn, and this the Skinny Oxer. It's a narrow face they must jump. The GC Oxer 150 square, fence 5. And then left-handed down 2 on 6 strides, the Grey Leaves double. 6AN 150, and then 2 strides out of a 155 tall vertical 6B. This then the anchors is not too wide as 7 110 only. It's tall at 150 to encourage a tight turn in and away from it. And then down to the next combination, 8A and B, the horses double 150 entering. Very tall vertical that has been influential already this afternoon. And then it will be 1 stride down to the 150 square. Oxer leaving, 8B. It's then another sharp turn right-handed with combinations coming back-to-back, 8A and B and 9A and B. No remission in the course of Ilana Vezzani. 9A, the GCL Oxer into the combination, 150 tall by 160 in width. And then 1 stride down to 9B. It's a very big vertical leaving. 155 tall right to the perimeter here. Is the distraction potential for our horses. It's another very, very demanding combination. They then have a long run, longest run on the course here. They can go flat, gallop down to the Prague Players vertical. 150 tall is awaiting. Fence number 10. And then after that very long gallop, this turn is so sharp, the handbrake must go quickly on. Back to the Violet Oxer, 150 by 160, fence number 11. Then left-handed, it's another long distance they can let the accelerator go down to the boards. The Casino vertical 155 tall over the water is the final fence number 12 to bring them across the finish line. Time allowed 72 seconds and certainly plenty to do out there. These are teams to come. Riesenbeck International will start us into action. Emanuele Camilli and Max Weishaupt. They lie 8th on the season standings. Scandinavian Vikings have got work to do. They lie 16th. Sarah Vingrakova alongside Jörg Ruling. Then come the best team in the history here in Monaco, winners in 2021 and second in 2023. Paris Panthers, Alexa Ferrer and Guido Grimaldi. Basel Cosmopolitans lying mid-table at the moment. Zashani Gardlil, Primavera and Michael Duffy and Cantano 32, the Dane and the Irishman. New York Empire, 9th at the moment. They were 3rd in Shanghai. Robert Murphy alongside Michael Pender. Two young guns from Ireland and Great Britain. Prague Lions, very well placed 4th in the season standings. Fernando Martinez Sommer and Peter de Vos. Valkenswaard United, they lie 2nd in the season standings. They've had 2 wins. And Gilles Thomas lines up alongside Lorenzo De Luca, Belgium and Italy. Monaco Comets, the home team, 11th on the season standings, brings Jean Sadron and Ines Joly. And Mexico Amigos, they lie 10th in the season standings, Kendrick Rosa Brinkop and Kern Vereka. Can Stars, leaders at the halfway points, Natalie Dean and Katrin Eckermann line up for Deborah Myers, all-lady team. And Sancho Paris, they lie 5th on the season standings, they bring Philippe Rosier and Max Watchman to battle. Stockholm Hearts fielding Jane Richard and Olivia Philippas this afternoon. And Istanbul Warriors winners last leg in Paris. They bring Simon de Lestre and Henry von Eckermann. It's a very strong pair. Rome Gladiators, Emanuela Gaudiano, Nadia Peter Steiner, the Italian alongside the Swiss rider. And Madrid in motion, they lie 7th on the season standings. Michael van der Vleuten, former winner of this Grand Prix with Beauville ZNOP. And Kim Emmen, Doha Falcons, and ultimate team, Willem Vermeer and Jérôme Guéry. And the last team, the battle on, because they lie 3rd in the GCL season standings, Antoine Herman and Max Kuhner, the Shanghai Swans this afternoon. So battle commences here in Porte-Cool, Monaco. Great to have your company for leg 8 of the GCL this year on the Longines Global Champions Tour. This slender arena, 28 metres its width. You can see a slightly concave shape to it. 75 metres in length, so you've got to have a horse, as we've said today, that can be very quick-footed on turns, retain balance. And this course is proving very, very tough. Only 2 out of 18 in the individual batch jump clear round, so they are few and far between. Our trailblazer into GCL round 1 this afternoon. Now, as the first of our 17 teams comes forward, it is Italy's Emanuela Camilli and Chaco's Girl Star first out for Riesbeck International, powered by Horse Gym this afternoon here in Monaco. This is the pair that claimed their Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix golden tickets. They won leg 2 in Mexico City. Emanuela Camilli's his own very first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix win at the start of this season. This pair second in GCL round 2 individually in Madrid. Now, this team, very interesting. They lie 8th on the season standings. They've had 2 podiums. They're 3rd in both Mexico City and at Ramator Saint-Tropez. Legs 2 and 6. Emanuela Camilli gets well away. Daughter Chaco Blue, she's 13 years of age. Now, Emanuela Camilli outside the top of the Longines plank. Comes early at 4. They lie just above the halfway point in the season standings in 8th place. Riesbeck International 98 points at the moment. Still trail the gulp behind Canstars on 152, but I'm afraid the mistake comes now. Skinny Oxa, the anchors is 7. Chaco's Girl Star. Emanuela Camilli from the north of Germany, Bad Bergen. To the southwest, the Hansestadt Bremen. Now tries to keep it on 4 that could allow Max Weishaupt to keep Riesbeck International in contention this afternoon in GCL round 1 in Monaco. Just the mistake at the halfway point of the course. Fence number 7. Chaco's Girl Star jumps well, but it is 1 down for the Italian pair. First out for Riesbeck International, powered by Horse Gym this afternoon. Just looked to have a little shy prior to the takeoff point, caught their eye something, and that just a little loss of concentration just threw them off the ideal takeoff point, I think was the explanation. This is brand new ride, Max Weishaupt to welcome Zakar HV. This pair formed in just late May this year. Former rider Rolf van Bengtson, no lesser men. And this is their second Longines Global Champions Tour start after Paris last leg. They went very well in the final class, the Eiffel Challenge, 5th place. And that big closing class on Sunday in the French capital. Max part of the 3rd place in Mexico City alongside Mark Kutscher and the man we've just seen, Emmanuel Akimili for Riesebeck International. This horse still owned by the Holsteiner Verband that Rolf van Bengtson used to ride for. That partnership just, I'm afraid, ended between Rolf and the Holsteiner Verband, which has allowed this horse to come into Max Weishaupt's saddle. Very nice addition to his team. He's got another good horse, DSP Martin Sippe at the top level as well. Max, in his debut GCL season, is riding a very good round here. This pair have formed a very quick, effective combination. That is evident this afternoon. Super round. Time is going to come into factor. Just out of the time. 2 time penalties. Here's a little bit frustrating for Max Weishaupt. Great round to watch. Yeah, just cussing that mistake because those 2 time could be influential in the final.
Interestingly, time penalties already playing a part as early as the first team to come out. Riesebeck International powered by a horse gym. A fence going down for Emanuele Camilli and 2 time penalties for Max Weishaupt sees them finish on 6. If you want to watch the rest of GCL Round 1 live from Monaco here in Port Écule, come and join us with your GCTV Live Pass. The Scandinavian Vikings are next in the ring, and we hope to see you for GCL Live in Monaco.